Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. How are you today, sir?
Three things. I'm fine. I bumped my mic right in the middle of your intro,
I didn't even hear
and
it.
okay. And buddy, you've lost some weight.
All in hair. All in hair on my face. That's the only weight I've lost. Hair on my face.
This special guest host here is Chris Witt.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, yeah, I'll use the microphone to cover my face. It'll only be a couple weeks. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It'll be less than a couple weeks.
I don't know. I mean, before it looks
Well,
back to like a good, like the way
you.
I like it. Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. What made you do the close shave?
I was just up middle of the night. I was watching some basketball. It was a Saturday. We didn't do anything. I was hanging out, had a couple cocktails, and I said, you know what? It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I said, I think it's time. I think today's the day. And I just went up there and threw down.
Once in a while, you just get rid of it and start over, huh?
Start over, yeah. I left the mustache, but and my son was still awake playing video games, and I walked in and I asked him, and he said, absolutely not. He said, first off, don't shave at all, but second off, if you're going to take the mustache, he said, absolutely. I said, what do you think, bud? I just leave the mustache? Absolutely not, was the answer.
Not Parker Witt approved.
And my wife fell asleep on the couch beforehand, and I was up laying in bed watching something, and she comes up, opens the door, and did a double take and gave me like the gruesome face, like, ew, what is that? Like an ew face. I was like, come on, jeez, she's like, well, you can't startle me like that.
She thought you were a stranger in her bed.
Some weird guy laying in bed. Yep.
That's funny.
I feel like my nose gets longer and pointier and bigger when I have a shaved face.
You know what? I don't know. I think your nose looks fine, and
Your nose looks long and pointy.
It looks normal. But I'll tell you what, the beard definitely can cover up a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
Definitely totally changes the shape of your face.
Both of my chins.
I
mean, it covers both of my chins. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, but it is what
I can see the scar from when you had when your face fell off.
Yeah, well, it's not as bad as that was the first thing Aaron looked at. My wife was like, well, I didn't think you'd ever grow hair in like a size of a dime. And that's what I thought it would be too. But it's come back pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
A little, there's still a little scar there.
You could barely see it.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it. It was the first thing she thought about. Was the scar on my face.
Well, you look handsome, and we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we're gonna bust through this today. I feel good about this.
Yeah.
I feel good about this.
Yeah.
I feel good about this.
Man. No, go ahead.
No, I got nothing. Go ahead.
I've got something, Chris. I've been wanting to tell you this for at least 3 weeks, maybe 4.
Okay.
From the time I saw this happen, and if for some reason every week when it comes to the podcast time to record, I have forgotten.
That's it. It is what it is.
I even had it written down in my phone last week.
Okay.
And I still forgot to talk about it.
Jeez, Pete. All right, let's do this.
I witnessed a gentleman riding a unicycle down the sidewalk on a busy street for its most intended purpose. He was carrying 2 bags of groceries in each hand.
What?
And riding a unicycle like it was a bike, a legitimate means of transportation.
Really?
Yes. It wasn't. It seemed like it was not ironic.
It just looked normal.
It wasn't a hipster. He rode a unicycle down the street so that he can use both hands to carry his groceries.
Let me tell you something. What happens when he's got to go up a hill?
He's hopping off that baby and carrying that thing too. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. There's no way you're unicycling up a hill.
No, I wouldn't.
While holding something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so important to get the leverage. To get the leverage with your, pushing and stuff off of the handlebars. It's flat. I guess Westwood's a little flat, huh?
It was in Oakley.
Oakley's not very flat. I guess
the part that I saw him was flat.
Maybe wherever he was going to and from, he knew what he was getting himself into.
Probably. Yeah. But man, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Where do you park a unicycle when you go to the grocery store?
Carry it in with you. You can. I would think.
You think you just rode around the grocery store with it?
I don't know.
With a basket? You just held a basket and you just ride around?
I see stranger things in Kroger's than that. But no,
That could be that's awesome if you do.
well, yeah, if I go into Western Hills Kroger, I do. But uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can, yeah, I mean, you could chain it up somewhere, or I feel like you can just carry it in your hand
I
and
mean, I
ride
feel like
around
they're
and
pretty
walk
heavy
around.
still, aren't they?
I don't think so. I
No?
don't feel like they are.
I mean, it's just the back end of a bike. A bike's not light.
It's one wheel with a seat on it. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody who can ride a unicycle. I feel like it's a hard thing to it doesn't look like it would be that hard, but I feel like it
I
is.
feel like getting started would be the hardest part, obviously. But I feel like if I got on a unicycle and somebody like I started wheeling and somebody kind of helped me move, and then once I started moving, I feel like I could keep it moving. I feel like the tough part would be that like when they stop and they're like going back and forth, back and forth. That would be the hard part.
The only person I've ever seen, I think, ride a unicycle in real
Red
life
Panda.
is Red Panda.
Dude, I have not seen Red Panda in a while.
I know.
She's on NBA 2K24 though.
Is she really?
She's the halftime show for every game.
Good
Red
for
Panda.
her. I hope she's getting some residuals or something
Oh,
for that.
guarantee it. I mean, they call
That's
her
cool.
out, Red Panda, right in there. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
very cool. So I've seen the dogs recently. I'm going to a
Oh,
million basketball games now. Seen the dogs. I've seen the jump ropers this year.
yeah.
I've seen who was there the other day? Um, oh, the guys, it's two men and a lady, and there's like a it's like a balance beam, but it's just like a long board, and the guys just have it on their shoulder, and the girls on the thing, and it's like flexible. So she'll like
Oh, geez,
bounce up and
Louise.
she'll go 30 feet in the air and do some flips and land just on that balance beam that's like that wide.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and I just saw it last week at I think that was the Phoenix game where I
Uh-huh.
saw Devin Booker score 29 in the first half and 62 in the game
Nice.
and lose.
L.
Second time that week because it
Yep.
happened to Towns.
And they didn't give him as nearly as much crap as they gave Carl Anthony Towns. The difference is Carl Anthony Towns was forcing shots up.
Mhm.
Devin Booker's 62, as crazy as it sounds, was more in the offense the way I understand it.
Yeah, yeah, and it was yeah because in the first half he was just making everything,
Yeah.
and he had 37 at the half. So I mean he still had a really good second half, but
Yeah.
missed a few more shots, and they just I mean the Pacers are fun, man. The
Yeah.
Pacers are really fun to
They
watch.
always are. They have this is one of those typical old McMillan, what's his name? Nate
Nate
McMillan
McMillan.
type of teams. Just there's no superstar.
Mhm.
There's a star,
Well,
and
there is.
there's a star, and he's a starter but they did he play in that game against
No,
Phoenix? No, I was going to say
no.
he didn't even play in that game, and they beat the Suns.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've always played such great team basketball, kind of like a Miami Heat kind of way of things, right? The
Yeah.
Heat and the Pacers very similar in the way they play ball.
Yeah. The Pacers are usually really good defensively. They're not this year, but they're the best offensive team in the league or one of the top
Yeah,
offensive teams somehow. With having Halliburton is probably right there on the brink of being a superstar.
mm-hmm.
And now they have another star. Pascal
Pascal
Siakam's
Siakam.
been a 2 or 3 time
Uh-huh.
All-Star. And it's so they're just now
Pascal,
starting to play
I mean,
together.
Toronto. Pascal Siakam was so good that Toronto let Kawhi Leonard go to the Clippers, thinking that they had their next superstar.
They were going to build around him.
They were going to build around him, and he's great. He's a phenomenal player.
He's been incredible since he got to Indiana.
I know.
Yeah.
Should have bet on him tonight.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see them get those two play together and get some games under their belt and
Yeah.
get a little rapport going.
Yeah,
That's going to be cool. But anyway, I wanted to share that unicycle story with you.
love
I
it.
mean, it was
Love it.
incredible. One of the most incredible things I've seen.
That's awesome.
Chris, in 2 weeks, so we have the AFC champion and the NFC champion. That's finished now.
Yep.
We have the Super Bowl.
Yes, we do.
We've got the Chiefs and the Niners.
Yep.
And real quick, who you got?
Uh,
No explanation needed.
I don't know. I don't want. Can I have neither team win?
Because you don't care because you're just so it's so up in the air.
I don't like obviously I don't like Kansas City. They've become a pretty big rivalry for our Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't like the 49ers because we've lost to them twice in the Super Bowl. So
in the 80s.
yeah, but I was that's still, I
Mhm.
can't stand watching John Taylor catch a pass in the back of the end zone anymore.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to have to say 49ers. I love Christian McCaffrey. I love the way that guy plays. I absolutely love Debo Samuel. That dude is a monster.
Mhm.
Absolute monster. Brent, they've got so many weapons, so many weapons. And they brought Chase Young in, I don't know, 6, 7 weeks ago, and he's been great on the other side of Bosa. Is it Bosa?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. I would never know if it's a Watt or a Bosa. It's got to be one of the two, right?
Bosa, yeah.
But Chase Young has been phenomenal for him since he came and played opposite of Bosa, which, that means they're getting a pass rush. It's going to be tough to contain a guy like Patrick Mahomes, but those two are both beasts, and they could, hopefully they're up for the task. It's going to be a fun game.
Chris, that's real analysis. I'm picking the 40, and let me say this. Everybody seems to be so sick and tired of the Chiefs. I don't even feel that way. Travis Kelsey's great. Patrick Mahomes is great.
Absolutely.
Love Andy Reid.
They're awesome.
And I don't
It's
care
the
about
fact that-
they can show Taylor Swift 600 times in the game. I
I
don't
want to talk
care.
about that.
I don't care.
I want to talk about that.
I'm rooting for the 49ers. I don't know who's going to win. I'm rooting for the 49ers, and here's why.
Okay.
After your legit analysis there,
Yeah.
I'm a big Dan Soder fan. He's a huge 49ers
There
fan.
you go.
That's the only
There you
that's
go.
why I'm rooting for the
Love it.
Niners.
That works. That works. Hey, brother, he does a great macho man.
Oh, the best.
That's all. So let me ask you a question. So I'm about sick and tired. I'm starting to become like a defender of this Taylor Swift stuff.
Mm.
It's starting to piss me off.
Of people being tired of Taylor
I
Swift?
can't stand it.
Okay.
People will keep. I've heard so many. Oh my God, we just want to watch football. They're gonna. How many times are gonna show Taylor Swift? Do you know how many seconds Taylor in what she's been to? What is it? 12 games now. She's been at 12 games, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl is going to be 13, and that's her lucky number, and that's
Okay.
that was the thing. Anyway, E. It's on the E rundown, dude.
Oh,
I'm on the rundown.
Yeah, that's your thing.
So yeah, Aaron Lim. Shout out to Aaron Lim, who never has me on her little show for Snapchat, but that's okay.
Come on, Aaron.
Um,
You gotta have Chris on. He's your biggest fan.
anyway, so this will be her 13th game. She's been on 12 games. She has been on TV for an average of 22 seconds a game. The highest game, I think, was I don't know which one, I can't remember which one it was. 33 seconds of airtime showed Taylor Swift. Okay. 33 seconds. There's a commercial you don't like that's getting more airtime. There's some random guy in the stadium that's probably getting more. Why do you care? Why? You know what it is? The people that care, it's a bunch of rum-dums who just got to be misogynistic and like, oh, I want football, not pop music. I can't like Taylor Swift. Why do you care? You know what I love? I love love. I love love. And Taylor looked directly in Travis Kelsey's eyes after that win last week, and she said, I love you.
You can tell they're getting closer.
Yeah, the words came out. Read the lips.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I love love.
I'll
show it all the time. She is a absolute super. She is bigger than the NFL. There are not many people that are bigger than the NFL. Not many things bigger than the NFL. She's bigger than the NFL. You know what? If that's what it is, and you're some kind of jealous, or you're I'm too big of a man to want to watch.
Macho man.
Quit this crap. 27 seconds of a football game. Get out of town. I'm so sick and tired of this. Like, people are like, football's been ruined by Taylor Swift being on TV for 27 seconds. Do people talk about it? Yes. She's the biggest pop star in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're watching I don't know, if you're watching and Beyonce was married to some guy, they're going to show Beyonce on there.
She is. She's married to some guy.
I mean, to an NFL player or to an NBA player or to a Major League Baseball. They're going to show her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen because they're huge superstars.
Yeah.
Who cares? they don't show her while a play is going on. You're not missing any of the game. Chill with it. I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm going to start getting mad at people about it. I'm going to start telling people to shove it up their behinds.
Use this, okay? I'm gonna piggyback there. She has, and I can't explain how, but there's some kind of business model.
I saw this.
She has generated $331.5 million for the NFL and the Chiefs. If you're a guy that's mad about them showing Taylor Swift during your football game, guess what? Your football game is benefiting from that.
Yes.
Your league and your
100%.
team is benefiting
Absolutely.
big time.
And if you owned a league and you realize that you can make more money just by having her on for 22 seconds a game, and that the social media, the whatever power can drive $330 million extra into your business, they're probably stupid for putting her on for only 22 seconds.
If you have that stat, you would be smart to pay, like the NBA should pay her $1 million and fly her first privately to big NBA games.
Sure.
If she's going to generate that much money by being there and getting more people to watch, because she's there, pay her, send her to 20 NBA games throughout the rest of the season, pay her $1 million to go there and sit there in the first row.
The difference is they don't do that.
Her and Travis both.
But they don't do that for people that are just sitting there watching a game. They're not going to do that for a star like that. They're doing this because it's girlfriend, wife, and she's going crazy. That's the point of it, right? That's why they're showing her that love, man. Don't hate love. You know what I think it is? That's what I think it is. I think it's a bunch of guys who just, the people that probably don't like it the most are probably the people that are the worst in relationships.
It does feel a little early for the L word for those two. They've been together like 3 months or so.
Look, I ain't judging on nobody, bro. I ain't judging nobody.
I don't care at all about that.
I don't judge nobody. You know what? You fall in love, you fall in love. I don't care how it happens. I don't care how it happens, or if it's for a short period of time or a long period of time. I love love. I love love. It's a positive, fun, great thing. Smiles. See the smiles on their faces? So awesome. I love smiley faces, man.
He's winning, so yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, I'm just
in more than one way, I guess.
Yes, good for him. I mean, that's not my cup of tea. Little tiny, skinny, maybe weigh 100 pounds soaking wet, but whatever. Go for it. He could break her in half.
It's my cup.
I know. He could break her in half.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, he could. Yeah, if he becomes a woman beater or something,
she's gonna die.
Dead meat.
Yeah,
dead meat.
That'll never happen. She probably has bodyguards in the bedroom.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Hope not.
I wouldn't doubt it. The only thing that does bug me about her is why she always got to have that bright red lipstick. Sometimes you can just tone it down a little bit. I'm not a fan of the big bright red lipstick stuff.
Red's the color of love, baby.
That's fine. I love love. I love love.
You haven't mentioned that yet.
I love love.
I brought all that up to bring up. I'm seeing and getting, messages and stuff all over the place about people selling Super Bowl squares.
Yeah.
The squares, the chart, everybody knows what we're talking about, the chart, and you sign up, you pay $20, $25, $50,
$100, $200.
Oh yeah. And you buy a square, you get your name in the square, you don't know what the numbers are yet because the numbers are picked randomly after it's all filled up. And then you get the numbers you get, and then at the end of each quarter and bonus at the end or whatever
they got all kinds of them. Sometimes they do every score change, all that stuff.
Yeah, if your last it's the last number of the score on each side is
the ones digit, if you will.
Right. So I'm seeing those all over the place.
Absolutely.
You are running one of those.
I am in charge of our baseball organization's Super Bowl squares.
You're in charge of your baseball organization because you are
fundraising, just fundraising. Just fundraising.
I mean, is there anything else?
Unfortunately, that's a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but I got myself put into a situation.
How is it running one of those things? I
struggled in the beginning.
Is it people saying, yeah, I want a square, and then you got to go
Oh,
chase after them for the
no.
money?
Well, we're
Is
gonna
it
find out about that.
okay?
I made it. This is my. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm told over the last few years, the most sheets they ever had was 4 or 5. Right. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That doesn't sound too bad. Within a week, we had 4 sold.
Wow.
We are now in our 9th sheet.
Oh
I
my.
have over 800 names. I keep, and then I got to make sure I got them all. I made the mistake of telling people they could text me, email me, or send me Venmo. And in the Venmo comment, they put up, but it's got to have a kid's name, coach's name. The one that gets me is I'm very specific. All the emails I've sent out about this. The kid's name, give me a coach name. Every single time you send me squares, every time you do it, send it to me. I don't have time to go back and figure out who you are just because you sent it to me once. I don't know. I've just said it eight over 800 names that I have been typing out. I don't randomly remember you. I don't. I'm sorry. Your son's 15 years old. I don't know you from Adam, although he is my cousin.
Yeah.
But Adam, right? It's Adam.
It's Adam.
It is
It's
Adam.
pronounced Adam.
Okay. So I just would like to say, read the whole if you're selling these for an organization, your kids so and so, this, that, the other, somebody's in charge of these Super Bowl squares that you are going to send a list to. You're going to Venmo money. You're going to bring them cash. You're going to do, and 98% of the people have been great. Some of them, it's just like, I don't understand. But what I'm saying is just read all the information, read the whole flyer, and just do what they ask. That's it. It's real simple. Don't just throw it out there and willy nilly your way through life and expect someone else to do all the work for you. It's a lot. It's a lot. Just do it the right way. It's simple. I made a mistake though. You want to hear this?
Yeah.
So last night, this is last night, no joke. Oh, quit it, Siri. Last night we have about, I don't know. I started the 8th sheet and I had like 75 spots left on the 8th sheet. And I'm like, you know what? I've only got like 5 or 6 a day over the last couple of days. I think this is the last one. So I sent an email out. I got about 75 spots left. I'll let you guys know when it gets down to about 30 or 20, keep you up to date. If you have names, make sure you let me know. We got plenty here. I woke up this morning, over 80 new people. So I started a 9th sheet.
Oh, so
I'm, a-
but now you
I'm
only
like
have
I'm like 20 into the 9th sheet now.
okay.
This is I'm I don't I'm
You're
I,
praying this
I'm
is the
make
last one.
no I'm making this the last sheet.
Okay.
I'm not sending anything out. Nobody knows. I didn't come back and say I told people like, hey, we're on our 8th sheet. Great job. Y'all did a great job, blah 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 blah. Helping out, to pay for the kids' player fees and stuff like that. And I said, this 8th sheet's gonna be the last one. And then I got 80 new names. And it's been even more than that. If you take 24 hours from it was about this time last night, I sent it out. I probably got close to 100 names.
Oof.
So totally filled that sheet, and we're 15 to 25 into another sheet now already in one day. And I thought that we were almost done. So I'm not saying nothing to nobody. They don't need to know on the 9th sheet because we're basically right where we were at yesterday. And hopefully we can get this thing filled up just as quick. I'm going to keep quiet. And when I get down to like 5, 10, I'm just going to say that it's done and there's none left. And then I'm going to call a couple coaches and go, listen, boys, I have 5 of them left. First come, first serve. All right. I'm not messing with telling 283 people that I've got 20 squares left and hope somehow this works out because it's not going to.
Yeah.
It's not going
Yeah.
to.
You're gonna be starting new sheets all the way up to the game.
It's not, I can't because I told people that I said February 6th, I got to have money. If I don't have money February 6th, I'm taking the name off of it. And we've got to resell that now. Now we've got a week to resell that spot. So I told them, I need the money, need the money, need the money. Now I have more money in my Venmo than I have ever seen in my entire life.
How many people would you say have not paid?
So if there's 8 full sheets,
Yeah, how many squares was sheet?
There, how many squares on a sheet?
Yeah.
There's 100.
Oh,
10 times 10.
10 times 10.
10 numbers,
There
10
it is.
ways. I thought you were messing with me there for a second. I had
I
to
just
think about.
I just didn't think at all
I
about
was like, hold on now, is Adam giving me one of these mess arounds?
it.
So 8 sheets would be $16,000.
Okay.
$20 a sheet. I've got $14,200 in my Venmo, so I'm still missing a couple G's, bud. Still
Okay.
missing a couple G's.
All right.
I'm missing about one full sheet of money right now. About one full sheet.
And you have some kind of spreadsheet or something that says that those people who have
Dude,
not paid.
I've typed like at first I'm just typing names in on a sheet and then I type it in on another spreadsheet next to each kid. And then I have a thing I know how to do sum on a spreadsheet. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I know how to do is the sum.
You
It's
do the little,
literally the only
the
thing I
little
can do.
formula.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
the only formula action thing I can do. I can do, and I can make the make it a little wider or something. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I've got the sum down at the bottom, and I just constantly go back, and it's got to match up how many I've done, right? So I know once I filled up 8 sheets, it's 800. I got another 20. I got 820. I go down to my little number at the bottom. 820 matches up good. In the beginning, the first like 4 sheets was a little hit or miss here. Every once in a while, I'd be a name off, and I'm like, I have 4 sheets. How am I have 400 names I got to go look through now. So I'd start from like the last people, and I eventually it didn't take super long to find the ones. It happened 3 times that I had to go back and really figure out what I did. Now I've got it down. Now I highlight in. So I've got a spreadsheet with the squares. I type a name in there, and if they paid, it's orange. If they didn't, it's blue.
Mhm.
And then over on this sheet, I've got the spreadsheet highlighted yellow if they've paid, not if they haven't. So far, if you count all the yellows, it matches the amount of money that I have. Good deal. If you count all the names over here, it matches down at the bottom. I'm in a groove now. Like now I'm in a groove. I can get these things moving. It was taking me a minute. Like I'd start doing this at like 8 o'clock at night, and I'd still be doing it at 10:30, putting names in. And I would do it daily because I got to let these people know that because if you don't send, that's the other thing. This isn't my job.
Mhm.
Like 3 hours later, I get another email. Did you get these? Yeah, but I'm not responding to you so I can keep it new in my email so I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Because if I read this and send you a message, I may never see it again. I have 29,000 plus unread emails. I'm going to lose that email. I've got to keep it blue. I got to keep a blue dot next to it.
Yeah.
I've got to, because if I don't, that thing's gone. And that square will never be known by whoever it was. I got a dude that sold, there's a parent that sold 100 squares.
Wow.
Yeah. He might have been, was Marcus in your grade?
Marcus.
He might, Marcus Moore? No. Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Killed it. Barry Larkin on there, dude. We got
Barry Larkin on it?
Larkins on there. Yeah.
Oh, I'd pay for his. I'd be like, you're on free, buddy.
He's the
You're
one
on
that
for
probably
free.
would have the least amount of issues putting that on there.
Yeah. He's paid, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, come on, Barry.
Lark's done.
gotta-
This dude sold 100 and then just sent me one big fat Venmo at the very end, which is cool, right? Paid up. I asked you to pay, but you got to figure 100 names spread out through 2 weeks. He's got a name on every single sheet. So now
Mhm.
I got to go through every sheet and I got to re-highlight. I got to go find the blues and make them oranges one at a time.
Jeez, man. I do not
I don't know if I made it harder, but I made it so I'm not going to miss anything.
I mean, however you do it so that it's organized in your mind,
I was so
that's how you
pumped
do
up
it.
because Super Bowl squares at my mom and dad's house for the Super Bowl. I love that. I'm like, come on, guys, let's get this together. I'm always counting the money, getting everything right. It's my favorite. I love doing that, man. I started as soon as I get to mom and dad's house. Boom, print a sheet out. Everybody starts signing up. Dollar Square. Let's go. Come on. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever do one of these ever again. Somebody else is gonna have to get it together. I don't think it's gonna be. It will. I'm gonna
Well,
do
next
it,
year it'll be you, and the year after that, and the year after that.
and
But
I'll still do it at my mom's too.
okay.
Yeah. Oh no, this is like the new thing. I'm on the board, so my new job is fundraiser. Unless I just decide to quit, I guess I could always quit.
You could always quit.
Yeah, I can't do that though.
Quitting's great.
I
I'm
can't.
just kidding. Quitting's not great. Kids,
I
stay
can't
in
do the
school
stay.
or whatever.
Stay. I mean, depends on what you're quitting. Quit smoking cigarettes. That's fine.
Yeah, quit smoking cigarettes.
Quit smoking
Unless
your
you're in
dope.
school. As long as you're in school, smoke as many cigarettes as you want.
It'll keep you calm. Anyway, anyway, it's a lot, but
That's a lot of
it's
work.
taken a lot of my time. A lot of my evenings have been in front of a computer, in front of two different spreadsheets, and I don't know how to use spreadsheets. That was the other thing. I started getting all these names, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I just write them all down. All of a sudden, I've got a ton of names, and I still don't have a system for putting these names in yet.
Have you told your mom that you were doing this?
Yeah.
She's a big spreadsheet gal, from what I remember.
Yeah. She's great at them. I've had her help me with stuff before. She could explain it over the phone and do it, but it's the Super Bowl. I ended up going on and finding because I was like, I'm not just going to write people's names into a square because I have to be able to delete them if they don't pay. So I had to figure out how to do it. And there had to be something on a spreadsheet, right? It had to be. So I found it on the internet, downloaded it. I've got that now. So
Oh, it'd be
I
easy
just
just to
type
make
into
your own in an Excel spreadsheet. Just make your own.
I'm sure it would be, but I don't know how to do that.
I got you.
Not me. Not me. I mean, I could. It would take me forever
I got you.
to do it.
Yeah,
Mom would probably put it together in about 45 seconds
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm not bothering other people because I made a commitment. That's not anybody else's responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for you, man. That's a tall task. Good for you for taking it on.
It's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of something.
When the Super Bowl starts, I'm going to be most excited that you are finished with your, except for having to keep track and let everybody know who won.
I
And
got to figure out, and then I
divvy
got
out
to
the
give
money
people their money and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what it is.
But at least the hardest part will be over.
Yes. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Good for you. All right. Chris, I don't even know. This isn't even going to be any good for the podcast, but I do you have any memories of like the hardest times you've ever laughed in your life?
I'm not sure if I could tell you what they were. I mean, I know just sitting around with a group of our cousins is usually some of those times where it hurts. I leave and my face hurts
Yeah.
because I've laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a time where, and yeah, usually it's, somebody funny's around.
Mm-hmm.
I was at home by myself on Saturday and was just scrolling through. It might have been TikTok, it might have been Instagram. I don't remember what it was. A video came up and it was it seemed like a documentary or some kind of show about comedy maybe or something because they had like
Okay.
a couple of different people that they were interviewing. They would go back to these people and there was this clip that I saw that caught me so off guard at the end that it hit a nerve, a funny bone, a something, and I laughed harder than I've laughed probably in at least 10 years.
Wow.
I felt my eyeballs bulging out as I was
Oh
laughing.
man.
I had tears dripping onto my carpet in my living room. That's how much my face was covered in tears. I had to blow up. I was completely stuffed up and it was running. I had to blow my nose a bunch after that. I was laughing that hard.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna this again.
Here's
This is
the
not gonna
deal.
be good
Here's
for
the
this,
thing though. Here's
Yeah.
the thing. You were telling me about this when we were doing the show prep. You said, I want to show it to you. I want it to be there. And you said, but I've been disappointed every time I've showed it to somebody.
That's right.
You're building it up so
I know.
high.
I
Like
know.
I'm expecting some. If it was, part of what makes certain things funny is the surprise factor.
That's
in it.
exactly what it did to me. That's why it was so funny to me. So yes, this is ruining that, and you are not going to laugh. You might not even laugh that hard at it. But I will show you this, and um, it's just well, it's 57 seconds long, so it's gonna be
That's all right.
it's not gonna be great for this, but
It's okay. Is it? Do you have to see it in order to?
you you do You kind of don't have to, but I
What are
think that's
you doing
that's
with
how
your microphone
I'm,
right now?
I'm trying to get it organized so that I can hold it up to here so that you can see it and it can go right into the microphone.
Here,
And
let me
and
see your
I'll just
phone.
hold it.
You
I'll just
just okay.
oops, 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 sorry. Oh, what did I do?
I don't
Here we go.
know,
Here we go. Here we
but
go.
you're
Here we go.
cracking me up
Here
with
we go.
this microphone. Is this it? All right, let me have it.
Oh,
Watched it and just watched.
Okay, here we go.
I just stopped everything at 9 o'clock on Tuesday and watched it and just watched in horror, just not believing what we had foisted on this audience.
ABC Tuesday, a parent's worst fear, losing a child.
I don't want to die.
You never know whose family it will happen to. An episode so powerful, it hits home.
You beat this thing, no matter what it is, you know. I'm not letting anything happen to you.
A special home improvement followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey Show.
That's good. I like it. That was good. By the Diet Root Beer, Dana Carvey show. That's
Diet
good.
Root Beer. That was Home Improvement,
Home
a very
Improvement,
special
guys.
episode of Home Improvement where Randy gets AIDS or cancer or whatever, and he and
Was it Randy? Was it?
that's the middle one, right?
Oh, I thought Randy was the oldest one. What's Jonathan
Uh,
Taylor Thomas? Jonathan
wasn't he-
JTT is Randy?
Wasn't he Randy? Or
I'm yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
now I can't remember, but yeah, and he gets some kind of something, and it's special. There's nothing funny about it.
Not at all until
Followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show. I don't know what happened to me that day. I don't know what happened before that. I I almost threw up.
You're right. It's
later-
Randy.
Later that night, I had from that time it got a little worse and worse, and then my dad and I went to Elders game all the way up in Dayton. I drove. I'm sitting there at the game, and I had a little tiny slight headache before that. During the game, I had a headache so bad, and I got really nauseous, and I almost got up and ran to the bathroom in the middle of the game to throw up.
Wow.
And I really honestly started feeling a little sick right after I laughed as hard as
It's-
I laughed.
Some chemical imbalance happened inside your body from that laughter.
I don't know. I'll never laugh that hard at that same thing again.
I laughed. I thought it was funny. That was
Whatever
good.
that was,
That was good. It's
it
a surprise thing.
took me to a
look,
different dimension or
Yeah.
something. I don't
That
know.
was good. And they were showing it to like, so if you couldn't see it, you could hear it. But they were showing it to like Steve Carell and a couple other comedians, and as it hits, they show they're like kind of listening, and it says that, and they all start cracking up. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god.
Diet Mug Root Beers, Dana Carvey show, the
Oh.
death of a child.
Followed by the most obscure pop sponsoring a comedy show.
Diet Mug Root Beer. Not sponsored by Mug Root Beer, sponsored by Diet Mug Root Beer.
I'm a big root beer guy. You're not a root beer guy.
Can't stand it. Disgusting.
Big root beer guy. Mug is the worst one.
Is it?
Yeah. And I can't imagine what diet mug is like.
I hate diet everything.
Really?
I think diet, anything that's diet, the flavor is so weird. It's like, I don't know. I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's disgusting. I can do like a Coke Zero or something like that. It's not bad. I can do that. But actually, you know what? I take that back. I've had some Diet Mountain Dews. I went through a Diet Mountain Dew deal. That's the only one though. And that's just like there's still so much Mountain Dew flavor that it kills the diet flavor. Like in a Diet Coke.
I didn't even think so many people love Diet Coke.
It's so gross.
I didn't even think. You'll drink Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Will your
I
kids
ch-
drink it?
yeah.
I got 2 weeks ago on my. Did I tell you that?
Uh-uh.
On my porch, I maybe even it was at least 2 weeks ago. I walked out onto my porch one morning, and there were groceries sitting that I did not order.
You got somebody else's grocery order?
I got a bag of Oh, I got a box of Rice Krispie treats.
Okay, winner.
I'm
yeah,
eating those, pal.
yeah, absolutely.
I got a bag of like some kind of nerds gummy things or something.
My son loves those bad
I
boys.
thought so. Big with the kids. A bag of Funyuns.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You are Funyuns?
Did a 12-year-old order this? This is awesome so far.
Yes, because the only other thing there were 2 2 liters of Mountain Dew.
What? What family? That's not a. First off, that's the weirdest delivery
That's
grocery
something,
order.
That's something that I would order, except I don't like any of those things.
Yeah.
Except for the Rice Krispies.
So I don't drink Mountain Dew, regular Mountain Dew. I would have Diet Mountain Dew. I'm trying not to drink any pop at all. I've done a pretty good job with it. But yeah, are you kidding? I mean, uh, they can have some pop on the weekends. We'll let them have it. But Parker would flip out over some Mountain Dew. He thinks it's the cool. He thinks that is a drug.
It is.
Yeah.
It's got drugs in it.
Yeah.
All right. If you want them, they're yours.
I'll
They're
take it.
just sitting at my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not touching these things. I don't
Yeah.
like any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
bring them on over.
All right.
Bring them on over. You didn't eat the bag of Funyuns?
No, funny.
You don't like Funyuns?
I get Funyuns right out of my face.
Adam Schmidt.
I'd rather have a Diet Mug root beer.
It's blasphemous.
Yeah. No Funyuns.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because they're like
I
onions, and I
love-
hate onions.
Oh, see, that's
You know.
I love onions and
Yeah.
I love Funyuns, and I both of them. I eat too many every time, too much of both anytime I eat them, and my breath is rancid. I can, when your breath's so bad you can taste it.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to get anywhere near somebody because I can taste. Like you wake up in the morning or something, and you're like, oh, I don't even want to. Like I can't go near anybody right now. I gotta brush my teeth. Wait 10 minutes and then brush my teeth again. Those are I'll brush my teeth and then put Listerine in afterwards.
Yeah. Like you
to try
drank.
to kill it.
Like you drank 3% milk right before you went to bed. And didn't
Yeah.
brush your teeth, and then you woke up.
And
in
like
the
let
morning.
and it just sat in your mouth.
Yeah.
And oh my God, but you can taste how bad your breath. That's how it is with Funyuns. I can taste how bad my breath is.
And that's part of the reason I don't want any part of them. And now I will stay away from. I will give you the Funyuns when I'm leaving next time.
I'm not eating them while we're sitting here. No chance. My kids have a problem with chips. They open a bag of chips and the chips are gone. I don't know, like, how's that happen? Like, you guys weigh nothing. You're tiny little nothings. They open a bag of chips and the bag of chips is gone.
When chips taste good, they're so easy to just keep eating.
They are.
You know.
They are.
Yeah.
Funyuns will tear your mouth up, though.
Is that right?
You get a little, because you like to suck on them a little bit because they got a little, the flavor and the texture of them and how they work. Yeah, they tear the roof of your mouth up a little bit if you're not careful. And your tongue a little.
They melt in your mouth, not in your hand, huh?
Yeah, there's not a lot of melting going on.
Oh.
It's like cereal.
Oh, okay.
Tear you up. Anyway.
All right. Hey, put them in some milk. Soggy them up.
No.
Nothing worse than soggy Funyuns, I imagine.
Oh my God.
In
Could
milk.
you imagine
In milk.
milk onions? Milky onions?
Oh, God.
Let's go. I don't know. Why not? Why not? I'd give it a try.
Because that's why.
Look, I would try. Are they sauteed onions before they get put into the milk?
They're
Is the milk
Funyuns.
cold? Is the
They're
milk-
Funyuns. They're
I would eat Funyuns in cold milk. I would crumble them up and eat them like cereal. I would do it. I mean, I probably wouldn't love it, but I would do it. Oh, man, dude, I can't wait on this podcast. I'm sorry, we're going so far off, but real quick before you go to this last thing, Mike Little, fan of the show, long time ago when we were in high school.
never heard of it.
We both weighed about we were trying to get to 135. That was like our goal our senior year. So we probably weighed like 115 back in the day, 120. We very small, don't even look like ourselves. In fact, he looks really creepy as a really skinny person now that you've seen him as a normal sized person. Just kidding, Mike, you're beautiful as always. So we used to do this thing called gymnastics. Do you remember that?
I do.
He would do a handstand. I'd jump between and spread his legs. I'd jump between his legs and do a little flip. And then he somehow I did a flip into his arms and then he grabbed me and flew me over. I don't know. It was real weird. Girls that we were dating at the time he was dating at the time were gymnasts. So they were always doing crazy stuff. So we would try to do it. So we called it
Now his
gymnastics.
wife.
Yes. Now his wife. We called it gymnastics. And they found the video of gymnastics.
I remember the video.
Yes, they found the video, and with the video, there was a at another point in time, because we would be over at Corey's house all the time and we would use your video camera to record stuff. We made a sandwich. There was they were just pulling things that she's been a vegetarian forever, always ate just weird stuff, would be in her house all the time to eat. And he made a sandwich for me, and he was like, "You got to take a bite of just this corner." And they just piled all this crazy stuff on there. And the list from the sandwich was on there. So that was my whole point. Is yeah, I'll break some Funyuns up, and put them in some milk. There was like a little spice that looked like a rabbit turd they threw in there. It was all kinds of stuff.
It was a rabbit. They told you it was a spice.
I mean, I saw it come out of a spice jar.
Were there other rabbit
Yes.
spices in there?
There's no reason for them to have dried rabbit turds in a spice thing in there.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I'll eat.
I mean,
anything.
that's not meat.
Is that a
So
delicacy?
could be,
Yeah,
you know.
but you don't know if the
That's
rabbits.
vegan.
Yeah, I guess that's vegan.
Um,
If you're a vegan, are you allowed to eat plants?
that's all you can eat, right?
Yeah, but plants are alive.
Yeah, but they're not animals. They don't come from animals.
Oh,
Isn't that the thing? Or
I guess so. I thought that was a vegetarian.
I thought vegetarian was like they wouldn't eat meat. Like they could do dairy, but they wouldn't eat meat. Vegan is no dairy, no meat, anything
Nothing
that's
that
a
comes from-
product from an animal.
So what's the reason for that?
I'm imagine there's a lot of science behind the benefits for your body.
Is there?
Not putting now you
Like,
can
but
also
haven't
find
let's say-
lots of things that
let's
say
say
you
ha-
need to eat meat.
Like in the
also.
beginning of man, isn't that how they fed themselves, by killing small animals and eating them?
Probably, but also they had berries and stuff, I'm sure. And
Oh yeah, a
leaves and
mixture of everything. Yeah, a little bit of anything.
lettuces and things.
So why do all of a sudden do people decide that that's the correct way to be?
Not eating meat.
Being a vegan, not eating anything.
Yeah, like I said, there's.
I sat next to a vegan at a wedding one time.
Oh boy,
I know.
that poor person.
I had so many questions. I had so many questions. The poor people that were serving the dinner. Oh my God, it was so great. Her and her boyfriend / husband. I don't know what they were. They said, "Do you have a vegan thing?" They're like, "We've got one meal, and it's like radishes and sprouts or something." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "We don't have any kind of dressing that is vegan, though." They're like, "Oh, we're fine. Yeah, we actually brought our own pouches of like beans or something with them." And I was like,
Bean
what-
dressing.
"What's going on over here?" So I had a huge conversation with her. I'm like, "So you don't eat you don't eat eggs?" "No, we don't eat eggs. But eggs don't have anything to do with it's just the menstrual cycle of a chicken." And that went over real well at dinner at a wedding. And they because that doesn't make sense to me. Why not? I mean, that's the chicken's getting rid of it, right? I mean, why not? What's the
Sure
big
is.
deal?
Shedding its
Shedding
uterine
it.
lining.
I love that. Don't you love eggs?
Not anymore, since you said that 6 weeks ago, or whenever you first told me that. You know who's vegan? Sabrina Ionescu.
Is she really?
No, I have no idea.
Good job. Way to get us back on topic, because I could have done this for a long time.
The sharpshooting guard for the New York Liberty, who I'm pretty sure this whole thing we're about to talk about came from somebody probably asked her or something, because this past season, she made the most threes in the WNBA. She's the best or one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. And I think last year's All-Star game, she made like all but one.
She
or
broke the
something.
record. Yeah, she
Yeah.
had the most points ever in a 3-point contest.
Missed one or two or something the whole time. And so people were asking her like, "Oh, can you beat Steph Curry? Can you beat Steph?" "Sure, I can beat Steph Curry. Sure, let's do it."
Absolutely, yeah.
And Steph's like, "All right, yeah, let's do it. He'll have some fun. He's always up for some fun."
Heck yeah, he ain't yeah.
So they're gonna do a special 3-point shootout at this year's NBA All-Star game, which is in 2 weeks. Which, by the way, I'm going to. I got to tell you about that. They're doing this just aside from the regular 3-point contest. They're gonna have a 3-point contest, and then in addition, the Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu 3-point shootout.
I love it.
I'm guessing I don't even know. I'm guessing there's some kind of charity involved. Or
I'm
something.
sure there is. So it's like 5 days ago. You get this thing from the NBA, and I haven't listened to it, but Steph Curry's like in shoot around, and he says, "quote I think I got to bring her out. We got to settle this once and for all."
Yeah.
And that kind of starts it. She responds, "Let's get it." See at the 3-point line, and then they announce yesterday. They announced that they're going to do this. Steph Curry, Sabrina. Yep, we'll go head to head in the first NBA. I don't know how to say her name. WNBA 3-point challenge. And she responds to that. I'll even shoot from the NBA line. Let's get it. Love that. However, it is out there. It is out there. She will be using the woman's ball and she'll be shooting from her 3-point line, which I think is how it should be.
Yeah.
That's what she does for a
nice,
living, and that's what he does for a living. So, I mean, it is what it is. Although, I'd be fine. I bet I'm going to tell you right now, she's going to be just as good. Was it 2.5 feet back or something? Is it?
I think she wouldn't be as good, but
Oh, well, nobody's going to be as good, but she doesn't shoot. But have you watched her shoot? She can shoot from anywhere on the court.
yeah.
She can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah.
That extra 3 feet, I'm telling you right now, maybe she's going to be a little worse, but I bet she walks out there and beats 98% of the NBA in a 3-point contest with a pro ball, which is whatever it is bigger than a WNBA ball, and from their free 3-point line. I bet she'd be just fine. Trust me. You think she doesn't do that anyway?
I'm
You
sure
think
she
she does?
practices that
I
a
was gonna
lot.
say, you think she doesn't practice with a men's size ball?
I don't know.
Why not? It's bigger. I mean, why not? It's harder to make that in the basket. You got to be even more precise. Why not shoot with that? It's a little heavier, whatever, but
Yeah, that could throw your shot off. With
so
a
I mean,
regular
I
ball.
think of how you do it with baseball. I mean, like they have
weighted balls.
weighted balls that you use in certain progressions to strengthen your arm and stuff. But I guess that is different because you're not just shooting it as hard as you can. You're shooting it to a specific distance.
Yeah, I think if she shot from the NBA line by the end of the third rack and then into the fourth and fifth racks, I think that's where she starts coming up short a lot.
Yeah,
I think that's
I'm going to
where
tell
she
you
gets
this.
really tired.
I disagree.
Really?
I disagree. I think she'd be fine. It's what this girl does, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Taking like 500 shots a day minimum, I'd say. You're telling me that going out there and taking 25 shots, she's going to be, trust me, that girl's ready. She can shoot from anywhere, anytime. She'll use any ball. I believe that she would be just fine.
It's also a much different. I mean, guys talk about that all the time. It's so different than shooting regularly. It's the speed that you have to shoot
And the rack, like nobody gets a pass from their right or left hip.
Right.
You don't get a pass from your right or left hip
And
naturally.
It makes a difference which side you want to
Absolutely
retrieve the ball from. She can definitely beat him.
Can you put the rack in front of you? I mean, as long as you shoot from the 3-point line, like take your shot, grab it, step back, shoot, and then you're going to jump a little bit forward, grab a ball on your.
That would be a terrible, a terrible way to do it.
What?
You're adding extra movement. You got to go up and get the last couple balls. You got to go up and then go back, shoot it. You're messing.
I'm not
up your
staying
balance,
way
you're
out
messing up-
there. You're jumping, taking your shot. You know how far you land, right? And just have the rack to where you land, you grab it, you're going back. You'd have to take that step back anyway to get to the 3-point line. And a step back 3 is more natural than for some of these guys. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there, man. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay.
It'd be way
I
hard.
feel like we would have seen it by now. It was easier.
That's right. James Harden might try that, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be fun. It's just kind of an exhibition thing from what I understand. Like I said, who knows? There's probably some kind of charity thing involved. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's apparently All-Star Saturday night is all at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Dude, they can do anything with that place, man. That place is insane. Me and my dad took a tour of that place. They have suites that are like slightly below the floor in the end zones. Yeah, like you're like from your belly or chest up looks out onto the field.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, unless you're short, and it might be you're just like looking in line with the grass at a
I
football game, but
I feel like there's a stadium or a couple stadiums, maybe old ones in baseball that have a well or something back there behind home plate where you see people, or maybe I'm just thinking of some of them used to have the enclosed
yeah, I mean, you got
thing
like the
behind the.
dugout, like the original dugouts were
Oh,
dug into the ground,
I mean
basically.
for like people for like extra, you know, the alternate umpire and like people like
Mm.
officials, scouts or something. I don't know. I'm just picturing that. I feel like they're either used to be or probably
I'm
not
sure
still, but
somewhere. I don't know, I'm
yeah.
sure somewhere there was.
Anyway, okay. So that's going to be fun for All-Star Weekend. We'll probably talk more about that next week, before All-Star Weekend in the NBA. We have the last thing before we get into Mount Rushmore and the comedy is, and we can do this quickly. We discussed earlier, you told me about this thing that who's doing this, the rollover bets. Um,
Oh, I saw this on. I've had two people send it to me. Uh, they're called Parlay Cafe on the, and of course they have like a thing where you can pay and they give you all these other picks and stuff.
Mhm.
Parlay Cafe, I think it was on what's
Social media,
yeah, what's the one that does the real quick ones over and over?
Vine.
I don't know. I didn't know there was one called Vine. Is that new?
That's old,
Oh,
very old.
okay. You had me for a second. I'm like, man, I don't know about that. The
TikTok.
TikTok. There it is. The Talk Tick. So let's see if I can even find this thing. So it's they put bets out there every there. That's what I'm usually looking at on the TikTok is baseball. How do we find this? So you had me here. Parlay Cafe. They have been killing, killing on this thing. They just give you a $10 bet every day, and they're like 17-3 overspan, and people are starting to follow them a lot, and they do a lot of research into it. And then they started doing these ladder bets, right? So you take $10, and in 10 days you turn it into $10,000, right? You just bet it, take your winnings, roll it over, bet again, take your winnings, roll it over. They got to day 9. I think it was on Sunday or something like that, Monday maybe, and lost on day 10. So they took $10, turned it into 5 G's, and lost.
Uh, I'm telling you, if I'm getting to like $300, I'm cashing some of that in. I'm not waiting that long. I
I
can't put another 2,500 or another 5,000 into the next bet. I just can't possibly do that.
That's so crazy though.
Yeah.
I mean, the bets aren't that bad. They're all minus 500, minus 400, minus 300 bets that equal out to, there's usually 3 or 4 parlays and they equal out to plus 100, which is just getting, which is basically double your money. And it's uh, it seems like it should be a thing that can be done, but there's a reason why sports are what they are. Jabari Parker has not had less than 6 rebounds, and I can't tell you how long. And tonight he finished. He was in there in theirs, and tonight he finished with. Let's see if he finished with one. He had one with like 4 minutes to go, and he needed 6. Like that's insane. But he lost. But they lost.
So was
The
that
wrong one.
so you start, we're gonna start this. We're gonna try this,
We're
right?
gonna give it a try. I'd like to give it a try.
Was that the one that you are starting with? Was he part of that parlay?
Um, he was the one. Yeah. So they actually started yesterday.
Okay.
I got in late. They hit yesterday. So that was day 1 for them. Just got a text from one of the people that sent it to me. Said, well, I'm done listening to that guy. um, so I did my own. I saw how they were doing it and I just kind of made my own and I hit mine and they hit theirs in like the third quarter. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm feeling, because I'm obviously going to be like you. I'll probably let it go around 300, 600, something like that. I might do it because I only put $5 in or $10 to start. You put 2 grand in front of me. See ya. Cash out right now.
Yeah.
Love you.
I
Good luck to you guys. I hope y'all make 10 grand. I'm gonna go ahead and cash out here.
I can do too much with that 2,000.
You got that right, brother. You got that right. So anyway,
Get courtside seats to the Pacers, pal.
yeah. Ooh, 2,000. You think that's only 2,000? Oh, maybe,
on who they
maybe.
play,
Okay,
maybe.
I thought you're talking about
If
season tickets.
Detroit's in town.
Yeah. So they had. Oh, they lost by. They missed two things on it today. They had, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've been on a losing streak.
Okay.
I think a big part of why they lost is because I signed off on what they were doing. They at one point, like when I watched this, they were something like 27 for 32 on these bets. And they tell you why they bet them, and you know, they give you stats on what they've done and the research they've done and stuff like that. And it's pretty good. So we're gonna try this. All right. So tonight, that lost. So we're gonna start with $5.
Good.
All right. And we want to get basically somewhere in that plus 100 to plus 110 range. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's the problem though. If we put this out, we got to bet something for tomorrow, obviously. How many games even have availability? Like I said, for this one, it was, you know, they had Bam Adebayo, 8+ rebounds. He had 11. Wendell Carter Jr. did not hit his. They had him 6+ rebounds. He had 5. They had Timberwolves on the money line. They won by 30 almost.
Jeez.
87-21. They did win by 30. They almost won by 40. Sorry.
Wait. What did they? How?
121 to 87. Wow. That just happened.
Did you say 87-21?
I did. I said 87-21.
21's not good in the NBA.
You scored 21 points in the NBA. Man,
That's not good on any level.
No. But anyway, they had Timberwolves money line. They won 121-87. And then they had Jabari Smith, 6+ rebounds. So he only got 1. So he lost. So they lost. So we're going to do our own, is what we're going to do. Do you have something in mind for tomorrow? Did you look at any games for tomorrow?
I did. I did my own. I've been kind of doing these parlays anyway since we started doing these.
Okay.
So I did put one together. I ended up at plus 220 though. I was trying to get to that 100.
Okay.
And it didn't.
Okay. That's how many legs you got on?
But here's the thing. There's hardly anything I'm willing to put money on. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I got 3 legs, and one of them I'm not sure about. The other 2 I'm pretty good about.
Okay.
So I did have to choose one to get it into that plus.
All right.
plus
So
anyway.
what are your 2 that you feel good about?
Orlando Magic money line against the Spurs.
Okay.
Celtics money line against the Lakers.
Hold on. Let me
And
find.
I'm so simple about these things. I've been just doing almost all money lines.
Yeah,
it's the
there's
easiest
nothing
thing.
wrong with that. So what were they again? Give it to me again.
So the Orlando Magic over the Spurs. As a matter of fact, that was tonight, and Orlando did beat them.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, I can't find it.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So tomorrow is Lakers Celtics.
Okay. You got
in Boston. I've got
Boston.
I've got Boston, and then also tomorrow, Indiana Pacers at the New York Knicks. Knicks are favored.
On fire.
Yeah.
New York Knicks are on fire. They've lost 2 games in January.
Yeah, they're awesome lately. The Pacers are good too. I went you know what? Did I go? I did go. I was going to take Pacers with the points, and I went money line.
Okay.
I probably made that mistake, but I went Pacers. That's the big one that I'm like, yes, this is. But I needed something.
gotcha.
That was going to put me over the. Otherwise,
This is going to be tougher than I thought it was going to
favorites.
be to do on this podcast because we go on late at night.
Mhm.
We go on at 10. So all the games for today are done, and they don't have a lot of stuff up for tomorrow.
Okay.
So this is going to be tougher than I had originally anticipated. So you're at what? You're at plus what?
220.
220. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Celtics.
Okay.
They're minus 620. I'm going to go to college basketball,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take me a little gander at some men's college basketball for tomorrow. And let's see what we can figure out here. Because I was going to put this together, but I couldn't figure out how we were going to do it. So I like your Celtics deal. I'm going to take Oakland at home against Robert Morris. They're minus 530. And you
How?
know,
How do you bet on that?
Oakland beat Xavier. I mean, they're definitely going to beat Robert
Okay.
Morris at home. Oh, they got that.
How's Robert Morris this year?
They're getting 9.5 points against Oakland at home. So I'll take that. And then let's see. And then I'm going to take, and then I'll do what you want to be done. Oh, I can't look at. Are there any top 25 games tomorrow? Dude, there may not be a single top 25 game
Thursdays.
tomorrow.
I feel like Thursdays aren't always
It's a
great.
rough game. I mean, Troy, Georgetown, Georgia Southern, that's a good game.
That's great.
Cleveland State. This is not working the way I wanted it to work. I can tell you that much right now. This is not as fun as I wanted it to be. Can I look at
Well, the fun will come if you get a couple parlays in a row.
if
and
we
you
hit them,
stack
and then we'll
money.
start figuring out how to do it. I need to find me a good like minus 300 on here. This is going to be so terrible. I'm so disappointed in this. All right. We may have to do a better job on this next week. I'm going to have to figure this out.
That's all right.
But I want to do this. I want to figure it out.
Or look, if you look at it tomorrow, when you do it tomorrow, whatever, you can just come back next week and say,
All right, I'll text you what I picked for tomorrow. I'll text you my parlay for tomorrow, so you have it, and I'll let you know who win it. And if something happens and we start getting up there, we'll put them on our. No, we're not putting them on anything. I don't want anybody. Thank you. I don't want anybody gambling off of putting money on anything because I said to do it. So,
yeah.
we'll just go that way. But that sounds good. I'll put something in and we'll go from there.
Cool. That sounds good.
They got a little no sweat parlay on the your first bet for Lakers Celtics up to it's got to be. Here's the problem with those no sweats though. They got to be plus 400. I mean, you got to have a lot of stuff happen for you there.
Yeah, the ones that they kind of give you, like they'll give you a 5 or 6 leg thing, and it's the same game parlay thing. It's too many. I've never looked at one and been like,
yeah, that looks like I'll hit. Yeah, never. Ever. And then they're like plus 1,000, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible.
And there's a little thing that says, 65,000 people have signed in for this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why?
all of those people are just going to lose their money.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly why they do it.
yeah.
They don't. I would like to know. They do that on this as well. So they've always got somebody on here saying that they're, whoever it's Gronk's football picks
JJ
or
Redick.
JJ Redick's on DraftKings, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
I want to go back and look how many of if they pick a game every day, pick a thing every day, how many of those hit? I would love to know what those people are.
I'm not even sure it's their picks. I think they're just signed up as.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can be a spokesperson, but you put my name above a list of picks, people will lose a big ton of money, and they're going to come at me. So I don't know, man. People in their money, that's dangerous. That's dangerous to put your name on something.
But if it's JJ Redick, he's not an expert gambler. I mean, it's just a name.
No, but you put it on an app and people go, oh, he's an NBA guy. He does this. They're going to follow it for that reason. And if you they lose a bunch of money off you, you'll mess with people's money, man. I wouldn't put my name on
he's not
anything.
messing with people's money. It's their fault if they're upset with him.
It is, but he's putting it out there saying, here's my professional opinion. But I'm talking about gamblers. I'm not talking about sensible people like you.
Okay.
This is a totally different type of person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Look, this Mount Rushmore might end up this Mount Rushmore was way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Great.
It is the Mount Rushmore of sitcoms starring stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
We have, let's see. I've got a list, and I really just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's probably 30 more that I'm not even thinking about.
Yep. I mean, there's so many comedians that have had sitcoms, and there's a lot of good ones. You've got the Cosby Show.
Mhm.
you've got your Louis C.K. stuff, and that takes us through all the perverts. And then you've
And
got
then the non-pervert division
the non-pervert division. You've got guys like Seinfeld.
that we know of.
You've got King of Queens.
Uh-huh.
You've got what else you got? Rattle them off.
I mean, Crashing was one that I loved. It was on HBO, starring Pete Holmes. Everybody Loves Raymond. Sanford and Son.
Is Crashing the one that had uh what's his name
Pete
from
Holmes.
No. But the other person in the show was the guy from the Howard Stern show, Arnie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Pete Holmes like played a guy who was trying, and Arnie basically played himself like a drugged out dude, and the guy was trying to help him, right?
He did play himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Exactly.
it was really a lot of true. Yeah, tons of cameos from comedians in that
Yeah,
show. I
yeah.
loved it. The Bernie Mac show, Home Improvement, Full House, the Jim Gaffigan show, the Larry Sanders show, the Bob Newhart show, and then the ones you named, and then one more that I'm wondering if you're gonna fight me on this. But this guy put out a few comedy albums in the 50s
Okay.
where he did like they were more monologues, but they were comedy monologues.
Okay.
And then he would do songs like legit straight up songs,
Okay.
not even really comedy songs, but maybe some. The Andy Griffith Show.
Okay. Is this you talking because Don Mars is
No,
what's his name? Is that his
Don
name?
Knotts.
Don Knotts?
Andy Griffith has
I mean,
comedy albums.
If you want to make that on your Mount Rushmore, Adam, and you want to find a way to get your favorite TV show on there, be my guest.
Look, I think he counts because
Like I said, if you think that him,
I'll do one without it.
I'm fine
You
with
want-
it. No, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
I mean, it is my favorite show, but I didn't even think of that when I made this up last week, and I was like, wait a minute. I knew he had what it was football is the one that I've listened to
Okay.
years ago. Yeah, that album from before he had the Andy Griffith Show, and he had like at least two or three other albums that were similar, and they were comedy. It was stand-up comedy,
Sure.
and then he did some
Okay.
music
It was stand-up comedy or him just, talking okay.
and being funny.
Then that's stand-up comedy.
I mean, you named the other one. King of Queens and The Cosby Show are two more on mine.
Okay.
The fourth one I was struggling with. Between all the rest of that list that I named, so hard. I mean, and it's not the comedian. We're not ranking
No, we're
the
not
comedian.
ranking the comedian, we're
ranking
ranking
the
the
show.
show.
That's right. I got between it for me. It's between Louis and Louis C.K. had a couple different sitcoms.
I think they were
but
both called Louis, though, weren't they?
one was I think Life of Louis,
No,
and the other one was Louis.
Yeah.
And I'm just going Louis, the one that was on FX. Between that and maybe Full House.
Okay.
I mean, just a big time show.
Yeah, and had two great
Robert
two
Saget. Yeah.
good stand-up comedians.
Right.
on.
Yeah. Joey Gladstone. Dave Coulier. I mean, I love Louis C.K. He's one of the
So you went
leaders.
pervert division.
He's one of the leaders
Both.
in the pervert
Yeah.
division.
You
And I'm
got
going-
both.
I got both perverts
You got
on there.
the leader in the second place. In second place. All right. Sounds good. I mean, let's be honest. The Cosby Show is a classic, right?
It's
a
amazing.
classic.
Amazing.
It is good. It was good. It was good. All right. So rattle them off again. The
The Andy Griffith Show, Louis, King of Queens, and The Cosby Show.
I like it. All right. So semi-similar.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we only had one similar.
All right.
And I'll name that first. This was an easy one for me. It sounded like you almost didn't want to do it. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. Full House was awesome.
Yeah.
Full House was great. My house, the kids and my kids watch Full House and Fuller House. Love it.
Mhm.
That's a great show. Definitely on mine. I'm obviously going to have Seinfeld. Love Seinfeld. Still watch. If it's a rerun of Seinfeld on, I'm watching it without a doubt.
I
Uh,
was watching it last night.
I'll say the next one. So when I was a kid, I watched a ton of Nick at Night.
Mhm.
I absolutely loved the Bob Newhart show. I
Yeah.
would watch the Bob Newhart show all the time. Loved it. The last one you didn't even have on the list.
Yeah, one of
And
them,
this
but I
is
forgot, I'm
one
sure.
of my, this is another Nick at Night special that I truly think is underrated when you look at some of the old shows back in those days, right? You had like All in the Family. You had what was the Jeffersons, which was a spin-off of All in the Family. But in that same kind of era was one Mr. Red Fox in Sanford and Sons.
I said Sanford and Son.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't hear you say Sanford and Son. I thought I got you on one.
Yeah.
Daggone it.
it's not on my list, but I
You
put it.
said it on there? Oh, you
er,
said it when you were reading them? Oh, okay. I missed it. Anyway, Sanford and Sons, Seinfeld, Full House, Bob Newhart. That's mine.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You know, last night I get on. So I get on when I go to bed. I pull up Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
That is where years ago I purchased the first 5 seasons of the Andy Griffith Show.
Okay.
So I have it in perpetuity. I turn an episode on.
What do you have it in?
Perpetuity.
Is that like, what does that mean?
I
A
have
lot of it?
perpetually.
Is that a lot?
It's forever.
Oh, it means forever. I mean, I think
It's
that was pretty close.
yeah. I don't even know if it means forever, but it's like, yes, it's constant.
Okay.
I put on the Andy Griffith Show.
No, you've gone to college like 6 times. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm in the 11th phase of school. Um, where was I going? Oh,
Sorry.
I pulled that up. No, not your fault. I pulled that up last
Always
night.
my fault.
It's not your fault. I pulled that up last night, and I like accidentally hit something else first,
Okay.
and then I saw like a couple things come up, and the first thing that came up on this new list, the Bob Newhart Show. It's free on Amazon Prime.
Nice. Well, now that I know that, I might just be watching a little. I might catch me 1 or 2 flicks before bed tonight.
Do it.
Why not?
I might watch a few too.
I'm gonna tell you, there's one of my favorite ones. He comes in to the office. He's a psychologist, right? And he comes in the office and hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. And they're all talking about his suit that he has on. And they're talking about how obvious he is, and he wears the same suit on Monday, the same suit on Tuesdays, and he doesn't even know he does it. He's so, and it's one of the funny. It's not funny when I talk about it. One of my favorite episodes. Oh, it's hilarious the way they mess with him, and he's very easily messed with in that show.
Yeah.
His dry speed, like you would never, like so good.
My suit. I wear
Oh
this
my
every.
So good, so good.
Do you remember doing speeches in 7th and 8th grade?
It's Bob Newhart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was Bob Newhart.
Was it really?
7th grade, yeah.
What'd you do?
It was a.
What speech did Bob Newhart do?
I forget. What was that from? I mean, I don't remember how it goes, but oh, yeah, you know what? It was something like he was taking a driver's test or something.
Okay.
And there was a speech. I mean, they had like a folder of speeches, and that was one of them, and that's what I
Okay.
chose because I knew it was supposed to be funny. And I sure I did a terrible job because I had to do public speaking
Yeah.
in front of my class. So I didn't enter into the speech competition or anything like that, but you had to do one,
Right.
and that's what I did.
Nice. Okay. Good for you.
I have to see if I can find that somewhere. Not my speech, but
The
that
speech that you did.
Yeah. I think it was just an excerpt from one of the shows.
Probably either from one of the shows or from one of his stand-up specials, maybe back then. It could have been from any of it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like it. I feel like that was pretty good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right. So, Mr. Schmidt, that leaves us with Doug Heffernan, Mr. Kevin James. What was it? Irreversible, irregular,
Irregardless.
irregardless. That's right. Irregardless. That's not a word. Yes, it is. How do you know? All right. So Doug, I keep wanting to call him Doug. Kevin James is a funny dude. And I don't know that this was his best special he's ever put out.
It wasn't. Sweat the Small Stuff is one of my favorite specials
Is
I've
it?
ever seen.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't
From
think it
like
was one.
99,
Um,
98 or something.
he only got preachy once, which was no big deal. I liked it. It's funny. It's funny. I laughed throughout. No hard kill. There was one really good joke. I thought he had one really really good joke, and to me it was the iPhone joke with the apps and when you hold them down and they're jiggle. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, but there was a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff in it. He ended well. There was a great the whole conversation and I can't even explain it to you, but the irregular or irregardless and his wife putting him in the situations and her being the smartest person, the talking, then she's talking to him and that's all relatable. Like words are like blowing up before they even get to him. Like joke's on you. I'm not listening to anything you're saying. I thought, oh, that was kind of funny. Then no, this is funny for me, but it is good. I I feel like it was good enough to be in the upper half of threes, but it definitely wasn't a four. We just had one of these. Like I would go probably in that like 3.6 to 3.8 range. Let's mix it. Let's cut it in half and go 3.7. Be my that's what I would push
3.7,
at it.
and I'll just show you that's my 3.8.
Hey,
Three
wow,
eight.
that's good. So we're right about the
Right
same.
there.
3.8. Yeah. Did you
Right
have anything you wrote down? Because I didn't write anything down, like usual.
I did. His very first joke was the same joke that he told 25 years, almost 30 years ago,
Oh,
probably.
really?
But he used different words though. So like this one was everything hurts. He's
Oh,
like, I woke up the other day and I asked my wife, did I play rugby yesterday? She said,
Yeah.
no, you shook a can of paint for me. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't the gallon, it was the little Haagen-Dazs quart or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite jokes he's ever done on his old special was he talks about how much he sweats and he's like my buddy came over, he's like, hey guy, were you jumping rope in the attic? He's like, no, I peeled an orange about an hour ago. Why? That's one of my favorite jokes he's ever done. So same kind of thing. But then the rest of it, was new stuff. Um, Cheerios may lower
That
cholesterol.
was good.
Let's see. Everybody gets a lot of this was about in my day, it
Oh, it
wasn't
was a
like
whole lot of
this.
my day getting beat and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whipped and put in
Yeah.
a corner.
We were tougher.
Yep.
Kids are soft these days,
Yep.
that kind of thing. The everybody gets a trophy. That's yeah.
Can I tell you that I don't think so? This to me, this is where everybody talks about everybody gets a trophy stuff. That whole thing is blown out of proportion in my head. It's like the raisins and potato salad for white people thing.
Yeah.
I've never in my life seen raisins in potato salad.
Never.
Now, I will tell you at like my daughter's dance competition, like if you do a dance, if there's 6 teams that do a certain dance, all 6 of them win a trophy. They don't all say they came in first. It says clearly on there 6th place, 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, first. You know if you won. There's no doubt. Like you know that you won. But I guess technically everybody does get a trophy. That's like the only thing I know where that happens. I don't see that happening anywhere else in any sports, anything. They now like we have baseball tournaments where there could be 12, 10, 12, 14 teams and there's a big variety of talent, right? So you have really good teams and really bad teams. And after pool play, they'll split it up into an upper and a lower bracket.
Sure.
And the winner of the upper gets something and the winner of the lower gets something, right? But you're put in with teams of your competition. So that becomes your tournament.
Yeah.
We've won a couple lower bracket tournaments because we lost games we shouldn't have, and we got put in with teams that were terrible. There's still wins in a bracket, right? You still had to win 3 straight games.
Yeah.
So it's not an everybody wins, but they do separate things and try to move them. but that like everybody, I don't see that anywhere. I don't see a lot of the, everybody gets a ribbon, everybody gets a participation. Like I've never seen, I mean, outside of maybe like the girls' dance team last year came in first in all three competitions they were in, but you only got 3 trophies for 40 girls. So they bought them all a little star trophy, right?
Oh.
But they all can't, but they won.
Yeah.
That's why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I feel like it's different than when we were kids, but also I have three or four Cheviot shootout participant trophies
Do you
from playing and losing one game in the Cheviot shootout.
really?
They're little short things, but
Yeah.
it's a little trophy.
But so it was happening back in the 90s, just like it is now.
Also, I ran track in like second or third grade, and then again in seventh or something like that. In at least in the smaller one, and I know it happens now because my 8-year-old niece runs track the last 3 years. Every race, everybody that crosses that line,
Gets
you
some.
get a first place ribbon. It says first place, second place, sixth, seventh place. I remember I had a sixth place ribbon for
Yeah,
a long time when I from when
But
I
it's not like but you're not getting, I guess it's a participation trophy, sure. But you don't think you won. Nobody that gets that thinks they won.
No, I don't.
You don't think you won. Yeah, it clearly says I came in 7th place. I got something for coming in 7th. You can call it a participation trophy, but it's not like that means I won. Like nowhere on there does it say, "Hey, you're a winner too." It doesn't say that. And that's what I feel like it all boils down to anymore.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I'll see the Cheviot shootout participant trophy and be like, okay, St. Catherine's beat us by 30 in that game. They were the second worst team in the league too. So I mean, it was I shouldn't have gotten anything. I mean, I should have I should have had to eat some dust off the Cheviot shootout floor or something for that game. But yes, you're right. It's I, we kind of got some of those too when we were kids. Honestly, at least I did.
I think it's blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad. If you play any kind of competitive anything, you're not getting something that says you won something unless you won games to win something.
Yeah. And there might be a little bit more now where they like don't keep score as much in some
That is
leagues.
the only time that happens is in the first 1 or 2 years of any kind of instructional league. And it's called an instructional league.
When they're like 5.
And that's, or even 6, 7 in some cases, like kindergarten, maybe into first grade. But after first grade, you win and lose games. But like you can't tell somebody they won if the rules, like baseball and lower like t-ball stuff, everybody hits on the team and then you switch, right? You just, everybody goes up, they hit off the tee, you get into it. You're learning the game, right? You're learning that how to hit, you're learning how to field, try to make a play. Right. The first year, it doesn't matter if you get thrown out at first or not. You're still on the base. You run one base at a time. Last person hits, runs all the bases. Everyone scores. You can be upset about that if you want. If my kids, when I was coaching that and the kids would say, who won? I said, who's got the most kids on the team? I'll tell you who won. They got more kids. They scored more runs. Like it's that simple. We have more kids. We scored more runs. I got no problem telling you we won, but don't think that you did anything because nobody's doing anything in this. The ball never gets past the pitcher, right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Now, and then the next year of that, it'll still be, everybody hits or 3 outs. Now you're getting into something. Now you're keeping score. Now we have score. It's almost, it's instantaneous afterwards, whether it's at the lowest form of rec or not. Yeah. I don't understand that whole nobody keeps score anymore. Yeah, it's because the rule of this game isn't the same as the rule of the game in 2 or 3 years. That annoys me. That annoys me.
Anyway,
sorry,
there was a lot of,
did it again.
No, there was a lot
did
of
it again.
Started
talking.
Nothing wrong with it. There was a lot of comparison to his day when he was a kid to kids now, and he has kids, so he was talking about that too. Anyway, there was a lot of that stuff.
Played career, and he was a cashier at a convenience store. That was pretty funny. It was not what I was thinking was going to happen there. Everybody thought when he grabbed those goggles off. What did you think?
I'm trying to remember that.
He said right beforehand, the guy's going like this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
What did
yes.
you think?
Yeah.
Everybody in that
Oh,
place
yeah.
thought that dude was at a strip club.
Yeah.
His son was sitting at a strip club.
Of course. My only other thing that I wrote down was, what in the world was that after the show was over?
I thought the same thing. He just invited people up on stage and was jumping around with them and hugging and
It was the weirdest old people white dancing that I've ever.
yes. Well, he's weird. I mean, that's all him. Like that's good.
Yeah.
By the way, how flexible is Kevin James when he was doing those kicks? Like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, his foot was over his head.
Well, he has trained mixed martial arts for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm sure that's where that's from. I mean, I think he was like a big athlete when he was younger.
He was a wrestler. No, he
Yeah,
was a
he
wrestler
was a
when he
wrestler.
was in high school. Yeah,
That's
he was a heavyweight. He played football and they needed
Because-
a wrestler.
because he in high school he was on the wrestling team with Mick
Oh,
Foley.
he was on with Mick Foley. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I just heard that he was on Dan Patrick the other day and he was talking about that.
Really?
He wrestled with Nick Foley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick was the heavyweight. And if he couldn't wrestle, then Kevin James had to go in there and wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that not too long ago. I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
You think they talk?
No, I don't.
You know,
No, I doubt it.
I wonder why. Kevin James was probably too cool for him, wasn't he?
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
I can see Kevin James pretty like a pretty hip, cool football / wrestling, thinks he's a pretty stud dude, and
Mm.
Mick Foley being the biggest dork you ever met in your
He's
entire
just a
life.
grungy guy, man.
And them not being cool together at all. Maybe like at a family or a high school reunion a few years back, they're like, "Oh, hey, we've got two famous people," and they take some pictures with some people, and then they're like, "We're never talking to each other again."
Yeah. Yep. Oh boy. Oh, sorry. That's rude. Okay.
East.
3-8. Well, I mean, can't help that.
You can't help beyond.
Yeah, that's true. 3-8 for me, 3-7 for you. And that's our comedy.
That's it. Oh, so I get Mount Rushmore and you have comedy, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Adam, what are we watching next week?
Next week, we are watching a gentleman that just put a special out about a month or two ago. Sam Talent. Sam Talent is his name.
Is it on YouTube probably?
It's on YouTube.
I
New York
figured it would
comic.
be.
New York comic. The Toads Morale. The Toads Morale.
Okay.
Sam Talent with 2 L's.
ENT.
ENT.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah. Okay. I like new people that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Did you know this guy at all, or did you just see this? I mean, obviously you've heard him because whenever somebody puts something out, they're all over all your podcasts. So
Yeah. He's been on the podcast, and some of the guys that I follow a lot have talked about how good this is and how funny
Okay.
this guy is.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. I'm going to do a Mount Rushmore, Adam, this week.
Good.
Um,
That's good.
last week I feel like you came through in the clutch with comedians in sitcoms that have comedians in them.
Mhm.
So I was gonna say sitcoms that don't have comedians in them, and I was thinking in my head, you're gonna have Andy Griffith #1 then.
Oh.
So you're now
I can't
Andy
put him on
Griffith is
both.
officially a comedian.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good to know for future reference. We got to get him on the podcast one day.
Andy Griffith?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It'd be fun. It'd be so fun. Matlock. Yeah. I would love to have Matlock on here.
Yeah.
When did he die?
Skeleton on here? 10 years ago or something.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when he died.
Mhm.
Did you go to the funeral?
I was too broken up. I couldn't.
Couldn't handle it.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that. I'm sure. Did you at least go to the parade? Did they have like a parade of
They did. And
old school cop cars, or was it more like a DMX thing where it's a bunch of four-wheelers and little crotch rockets? Or
there was mostly crotch rockets and four-wheelers. Yep. It was
Wow.
in Mount Airy, North Carolina,
very
where he grew up. and-
very similar to DMX's
Yeah.
casket following.
Yeah. A lot of loud music. Yeah.
Oh yeah, see that a lot of guitar strumming. I'm sure there was a whole lot of acoustic guitars out there.
A lot of bluegrass.
Is it guitar or guitar?
It depends on where you're from.
Because it's not a guitar.
It's a guitar.
It's not a guitar. Nobody calls it a guitar. It's either a guitar or a guitar.
It's a
Boy, Andy, won't you whip out that guitar on over? No, guitar. They're saying guitar on there, right? Guitar. How do they say it on the show?
yeah, guitar.
They don't say guitar. No,
Gui-
they don't. They say guitar is what they say. If they say close enough, if that's
Sure.
as close as they're gonna get.
It's close. Yes, it's closer to that one.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's
You're
what I
right.
figured.
You're right.
And B, do you want me to get the guitar out? See if we can cheer you up a little bit? Come on now, everybody. Start clap your hands here.
That's a perfect Andy Griffith.
I can't do any Eddie Griffin. It's so fun to not have any idea what to do for a Mount Rushmore.
yeah.
So fun. Let's every time I think of a Mount Rushmore, I turn around and look around the room. And I always look right behind you. There's an Eminem playing a saxophone. And I always want to say musical instruments. And I'm like, that we've done that before. And neither of us, I mean, what did I played
we
the
done-
saxophone and you played the guitar. and
We've
that's
never
about it.
done Eminem colors.
Is there more than 4?
I would say probably there's just a little bit more than 4, but it doesn't matter because
There's
they all
light,
taste the same.
there's light brown, there's dark brown.
Are there even both still? There were.
I
but
know there were. Are they not? And
No, I don't
they
know.
put the green in there for a minute.
Green's
She's still there.
isn't that all? Yeah, I thought that was
She
always
she was a girl. She was. Remember, she used to have high heels, and they're like,
Oh.
whoa. We're nope. This is
bit
womanizing, little
risque.
womanizing. This thing. So they put her in tennis shoes now.
Let me tell you something.
She got tennis shoes
I
now.
see women wearing high heels all the
That's
time.
what-
Is that woman?
when they- I don't know what the word was that they used, but it had something to do with women didn't like it or something. There was probably 3 women in the world that made a big fuss about it.
Yeah,
So they took the high heels off of it.
sure.
Those are
That makes perfect
so fun.
sense.
How about the Mount Rushmore of protests? No. Mount Rushmore of God, this sucks. This is getting harder and harder
yeah,
every week.
it is.
The Mount Rushmore of
High schools. No, I'm not gonna throw out.
I only went to one.
I know, but you have
Oak Hill Academy.
there you go. See? If you're a big Carmelo Anthony fan, you go Oak Hill Academy.
All right, this is going to be fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
Mount Rushmore of pitchers on the 1990 Big Red Machine. Not Big Red Machine, 1990 wire to wire Cincinnati Reds.
I love this.
Okay. All right. We've only got a few to pick from, so it should be a lot easier. We may have the exact same ones. I mean, now that I think about it, it's pretty much over, right? Is it done? I mean, there's a group and there's an individual. You put those together and that's 4 right there.
Yeah, that's probably what it's gonna be. But
That's
you know
okay.
what? I'm probably gonna be silly and go with some of the more
Okay.
obscure guys.
We've done this before with just like relievers, and I think I put like Scott Scudder and I put Scott Sullivan and people like that in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. What's funny about that is there was probably about 3 hours ago,
Yeah.
I got a text with a Jose Rijo reference in
Ooh. Don't do drugs. Don't be a user.
it. Yeah.
Or was that Mariana Duncan?
One
That
of
might have
them,
been
right?
Mariana Duncan.
I don't know. I couldn't understand what he said.
You know that Larkin and was it Glenn Braggs? Larkin and somebody else wrote most of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we'll give it's ED. Him and ED
That's what
wrote
I
most
thought.
of it. Yeah. Him and Davis wrote most of everybody's lines.
I'll tell you, it's a good thing those guys were not rappers. Those were not good. Those were not good lyrics.
We're the Reds. We're red hot.
I mean, I love it, but
Mhm.
gosh, it's bad. It's really a bad, it's
Man,
a bad song.
Lark, and I'm here to say no. Pete Lark had a good little voice on him when he started. He just didn't have the
The writing skills.
the writing skills to make it any good. You know, they wrote that and recorded it before the World Series, before the World Series was over.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
What did they
Heck,
say? Did they say something about being the champs?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they do. We're the champions. I mean, that's literally
Okay.
had the biggest part in one of them. What a champions. Maybe it was maybe after the NLCS or something.
Oh yeah.
Is that it? Or was there the Bengals song? Or the not the Bengals song, but the Bears.
Oh, the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, that one maybe that's the one that was recorded before. One of those two songs were recorded before either the Super Bowl was over or the World Series was over.
There's a Mount Rushmore team songs.
Oh my God. I only know two. I just said it.
Yeah. I'm sure there are other ones out there.
I
though.
guarantee it.
Yeah. Might be a
Nowhere near as
funny-
good.
Might be a funny
All right, keep it
look
in
up.
keep it in the old chamber.
Okay.
All right. So what did I say? Mount Rushmore of pitchers on the wire to wire 1990 Cincinnati Reds.
Favorite baseball team ever.
Absolutely. Yeah, so there you go. And you've got Sam's Got Talent and his Toad freaking something. What was it? Toad
The Toads morale.
the Toad's morale. And until next week, don't forget to turn your headlights on. The Toad's morale.